Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So, now that October is over, I'm gonna do sort of the same thing for November, except November is gonna be a video a day about what I'm thankful for. Some of these are gonna be hard because I'm trying to pick like really meaningful ones, because obviously I'm thankful for everything, that I have, and I'm thankful for, all of the opportunities that I've been given. But I want these 30 days to be things that are like really meaningful and touching to me, to a certain point in my life. So, while there's like 1,000 that I can think of that I could just write down and draw on a piece of paper, I only have 18 that I can think of, right at this point, where they mean a lot to me. And I want them all to be something that is really worth. That's not the right word. Things that I hold dear and that are like the most precious to me. And the first one is Oreo. I am absolutely 100% thankful for Oreo. Like, whenever I would cry, I'm gonna cry now. Whenever I would cry, he didn't let me cry. He didn't let me be sad. He could tell when I was crying. Like, he could hear it in my voice. He could hear, me sniffle. And he would sit up and he would look at me and he'd come over to me, which instantly, made me want to smile. And he would, in a dog's way, wipe my tears away. Like, he would lick all over my face, and he wouldn't let me cry. So I stopped crying, and I would laugh because it was so funny. He would lick my nose, and it was hilarious because I couldn't get him to stay out of my nose, because obviously, you're crying, your nose is runny. Well, to a dog, it's all salty and stuff, so lick. But, whenever I would get into an argument, I would go and I would hold him, because I had nothing but love for him. I would just hold him and I'd give him kisses, and he would cheer me up. And he never had an opinion. He never was like mad at me. He was never anything but there for me, and I could sit there and I could talk to him for hours and he would listen. And when he would get confused, he'd, turn his head at me, and he showed me that I am always wanted and that I am always needed. And he greeted me the same way all the time. He was like so excited and so happy to see me. And he was very sad when I wasn't there. Like, my dad would tell me how Oreo knew I was going to work, or, in the process of him learning where I was, my dad would take me to work, and he would come home, and Oreo would run out to the car, and he would run over to the door, and when he saw that I didn't get out of that door, he would run around the car to the next door, and he would do that until he had reached every single door and realized that I wasn't coming out, and he would circle the car And then when he realized that I wasn't there, he would hold his head down and walk back into the house. Oh my God. I miss my little baby so much. You know, times were hard, and I was able to bring him with me, and he was the one thing in my life that it didn't matter where I was or what I was doing, he was gonna be there. You know, like, yeah, my friends and my family are too, but if I move, he moved. You know, if I went on a trip, he went on a trip. He was something for me to take care of, and I'm just so thankful for him. And I miss him. He always made me happy. He always made me smile. He always made me laugh. He always put me in a better mood. You know, now, once I start crying, I don't know how to stop crying. This video is so hard. Yeah, he was my best friend. And he meant everything to me. And my life was so much better with him in it. I never went to bed alone. I never went outside alone. I always had him with me. I miss teaching him tricks. Like, oh my gosh, him and his tricks are so cute. You know, he would see that I had something that he wanted, so he'd come over to me and he'd sit down and he just, with his little paw, and he'd sit up straight and he'd wag his tail and he'd be like, and he got it from Charlie. So whenever I wouldn't, like, I was trying my best, you know, not to give him, like, human food or whatever. So there was times where I just, like, wasn't going to give him something, and he would just be like, his little paws. It was so cute. My goodness. You know what? I'm gonna be an absolute mess throughout November, because let me tell you, the things that I am thankful for, I am truly, truly thankful for them. And I may not always know how to put it, and I may not always have the right words, but They're really dear. And Oreo, I got to spend 2.5 years with him. I watched him be born. The story of him was my ex-boyfriend's sister had 2 dogs, Sophie and Charlie, and they were having a litter of puppies. And I can't remember if she was at work or if she was like out with friends or something. I think she was at work. And it was just my ex and I. And she went into labor. And the very first puppy was a stillborn. And I remember telling my ex's mom, if she has a black dog, like a black and white dog, I want to name that puppy Oreo. And the second puppy to be born was black, and he had the stripe of white going straight down him. And I said, that one's Oreo. And ever since then, I just grew attached to that dog. And she allowed me to keep him. Like, she wanted to get rid of all of them, but she knew how much I loved Oreo, and she knew how attached I had already gotten to the puppy. And so she let me keep him. I almost want to say that I'm thankful for her as well, because she didn't have to let me keep Oreo, and she did. So I'm thankful that she allowed me to keep him. It's like the greatest gift that she could ever give me. And so yeah. Then there was Leo, who I gave to my sister. And little, I think her name was Snickers. Unfortunately, Snickers is the only one alive still. The first puppy was stillborn. Oreo just passed away, and Leo passed away last year. So they were sick. I don't know. Each one lasted longer than the next. So I'm sure the owner of the girl, Snickers, will have Snickers for quite a while, or at least a year or two longer. I hope so. Anyways, I hope that they are having better luck with the health department of her. So yeah, that is what I'm thankful for. That is what I'm thankful for. I am thankful for Oreo. So yeah. Okay, enough sadness. I'm trying to live in the positive of him, but I am so just sad and heartbroken because he's gone. And I miss him so much. I like how I said, okay, enough sadness, but here I am, still being sad. So, now I would like to know, do you have a pet or an animal that you are thankful for? And why are you thankful for that pet or animal? Let me know in the comments down below. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.